Cricbuzz chatter time again. It's the end of day 2 of the first test match between New Zealand and India. Green Park in Kanpur. That's where I am. I'm not quite at Green Park. I'm in Kanpur, though. It's only, if I looked out the window, it's about 300 yards as the crow flies. A little bit further away, though. Chennai is my man, Dinesh Karthik. DK, how are you? How's your day been? You've been out practicing, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, Dooley. Obviously, a few domestic tournaments coming up, so just getting some practice under the belt. It's important to be in touch. Looks like you had a good day there. I can see you all smiling there, Dooley. I'm just watching you very close.
Well, let's just remind everybody of where the day does sit, just so that we can rub it in a little bit more and enjoy the situation of where this test match sits after day number 2.
Don't do that, Dooley. Don't do that. I don't want a Kiwi reading the scorecard. It's very, very hard.
Okay.
It's very, very hard to digest.
You go.
As we see, New Zealand were off to a great start. Saudi there with 5 for 69. Shreyas Iyer, making sure he got his 100 on debut. Jadeja early wicket to fall, and as we can see in the scorecard, India pretty much couldn't do much after that, getting all out for 345. But the beauty of the day was the two New Zealand openers, which has put a massive smile on Dooley's face. They're sitting pretty at 129 at the end of day's play. Pretty much the biggest partnership that we've had as a New Zealand opening pair in a long time, especially in India, Dooley.
Yeah, a long time. I was really impressed, okay, just the way they both played the spin. Will Young was exceptional, I thought. I mean, he wouldn't have played the test match without Devon Conway breaking his hand. Tom Latham, we know how good a player of spin Tom Latham is. But Will Young was the one that really impressed me. He's probably the more aggressive of the two. That left-right combination, to me, just seemed to work really well. And although we haven't seen this pitch turn a lot, not as yet. I thought it'd crumble a bit more. I mean, how did you see it? It looked to me like the Indian spinners didn't bowl poorly by any stretch of the imagination. I just think we've put it down to very good batting today.
Yes, I think that's very fair, because I think India threw pretty much all their cards on the deck and said, let's all have a go. But you could see that, they rotated the bowlers, everybody having a fair crack at, the New Zealand batsmen, and with obviously Ashwin bowling the bulk of the overs, which is always the case when India play in India. So you could see they tried hard. But the beauty was with both the openers, the fact that they didn't even give an opportunity. There was no drop catch. There wasn't a bad running between the wickets, so to say, a run out opportunity, nothing. There were no chances. Yes, that one LBW dismissal, we can speak about that. But overall, I think it was a fabulous day, and we should give a lot of credit to the New Zealand batters. Just wanted to ask you this, Dooley. Do you think Will Young, now that if Devon Conway does come back, do you think he'll slot into the middle order? Because, Devon Conway has been somebody who's done so well.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's the same sort of problem that Shreyas Iyer and India are probably going to have for the next test match. So you've got a bloke who's just got 100, and he's not going to play the next test match if they go with the status quo. Will Young, very similar. Coming off 82 in that Birmingham test match, didn't play the World Test Championship final after not playing at Lords. And then Devon Conway breaking his hand. He comes into this test match as a genuine opening batsman and reels off 75 not out. He was in exactly the same position last night, wasn't he, Shreyas Iyer? Came to the crease at 75 not out this morning. So is there an omen in that or not? I don't know. But it's a good thing. And something I enjoy about Indian cricket at the moment too, DK, when you look at what they're producing and what New Zealand are starting to produce in white ball and red ball cricket, there's just plenty of, it's like a wealth of real talent that they're able to call on in both these sides. When you look at what's been left out and the players that have been left out of both these sides, there's a huge amount of talent on show.
Yes, as you speak, I was just thinking both these nations, cricketing nations, so to say, India and New Zealand, played the World Test Championship final. Generally, they say it's an end of an era. Obviously, when this group of players go, there'll be a void. There'll be a bit of a hollow space for the next group to come in. But doesn't look like it, isn't it? New Zealand seem to be blessed with batters who are consistently doing well. Devon Conway goes, Will Young comes, grabs his opportunity with both hands. There, Virat Kohli goes. Shreyas Iyer seems to come in and, grab the opportunity. Makes it look like, how can you make me wait to play Test cricket so long? That's the kind of attitude he batted with. Yeah. Stepping out, hitting over the top, taking on the fast bowlers, making the bowling look far easier than what it actually was, because other batsmen obviously didn't play at the strike rate did he play, nor did they play the shots that he played. So it's very interesting to see two very confident cricketing nations who have a lot of depth in their reserves, and in many ways pushing the team that's always playing on the park to try and be at their best, to be consistent, so that they don't need to lose the opportunity anybody waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and two guys who have played a lot of first-class cricket, and Shreyas Iyer, He's already had a taste of Indian white ball cricket, so he's experienced it at first class level. Will Young's very experienced at first class level, and that's kind of what you want. Yes, it's nice to bring young talent on, but you kind of want to be able to bring guys in who have had a good grounding at that first class level, have scored runs, know how to score hundreds, and know how to get runs for their team. And they come into this sort of setup already knowing what their game plan is, already knowing how to play. And both those guys, I think Shreyas Iyer and Will Young, proved it today. But I mean, to me, again, I don't know whether it's a surprise or whether I should be surprised with Tim Southee time and time again. Just the way he delivers for this New Zealand side and gets them back into a game. We thought he wasn't going to bowl again halfway through yesterday, going off the field after 2 balls into an over with a groin upper thigh injury. But today, 4 for 26, 11 overs, 3 maidens, just superb. The way he uses the crease. I mean, how tough is it? I watch a bowler like Tim Southee, and he's not 145 Ks, he's 130, but he uses the crease so beautifully.
I will answer the question as to how tough it is to play a Tim Southee. But what I wanted to ask you was, as a Kiwi medium pacer who bowls similar speeds, who has come on a tour to India, what does it feel like when you come to India? Do you feel it's a massive burden in many ways, thinking, oh my God, obviously in New Zealand, the wickets help fast bowlers far more than the spinners. And when you come to India, do you come thinking sunny days, long days in the park, less bowling, less movement, getting smacked all over, very defensive fields, but still trying to find a wicket? Or do you think it's a great opportunity? If I want to prove myself as a cricketer in the world, I need to do well here. What's the sort of attitude do New Zealand fast bowlers come up with, and Southee as well? What does it feel for a fast bowler in India?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think you have to embrace it. I'm not sure I embraced it well enough. I came on a test match tour and only played one day international late in the piece. I missed the 4 test matches through selection policy, so I didn't get to play those. But you do. It's one of those tours you come and you have to embrace it. You have to want to bowl. You have to really use that new ball as well as you can early on. But you have to learn how to bowl with the old ball. I think if you go back in time, Sir Richard Hadlee was brilliant at that. Bolt and Southee have been outstanding in the last little while in Asian conditions as well. And Neil Wagner, not in the side for this test match, possibly come back in for the Mumbai game. But Tim Southee, to me, the way I've likened him a couple of times now to the likes of Chaminda Vaas and Zahir Khan. As they've got slightly older in years, they've just got smarter, used the crease well, bowled those 3/4 seam balls, the ones that nip across the right-handers or across the left-handers as far as Southee's concerned. So they've got slightly slower as they've got older, but they've got much smarter. And his form in the last year and a half or last 2.5 years has just been exceptional. So, yeah, really impressed with Tim Southee, particularly the fact there's no Trent Boult here and that Neil Wagner's not here as well.
And to answer your question, Dooley, you'd asked me about, as a batter, how does it feel to play a Southee? There are two balls that you need to look up to. One is the one that's a normal outswinger, but that nips back off the seam. That's the one you need to look for. You could see Shubman Gill got trapped in front, but luckily he had an inside edge, so the decision was overturned. That is one ball. And then the usual bluff that the outswing bowler does, especially bowlers like you who keep coming close to the stumps and then go wide of the stumps and make it look like it's in the line of the stumps, but it's actually outside. But as a batsman, you tend to fish at it. And he is a really good exponent of that ball. And the other ball that he's really trying hard with his action, which is very hard, is to bring the ball back in, or at least make it straighten, because a lot of times, as soon as they see it from the hand, they tend to leave the ball, which is, I feel it is that has been his beauty, his ability to control these two balls, where he's able to bring the ball back in off the stump and also go wide of the crease and still get the ball to swing even a little bit, because that will induce batsmen to go for the drive, very similar to the one that Saha played. As a batter, you're thinking when Saha is standing, it's in the line of the stumps. But when you go and look at the replay, you'll think, geez, that was in the 5th stump. Why did I even go at it? But that's the kind of, that's the kind of perception you get when you stand and face a Tim Southee. And that's been the beauty of Tim Southee, like you just said, the ability to use the crease. Yes, his brains as well, but his ability to use the crease is a skill that a lot of bowlers try and learn as they grow. And you can see that Tim Southee has definitely learned that trait very well.
Yeah, just continues to get better for mine, and love watching him. Another 5-wicket bag, 13 now for Tim Southee, and just leads the bowling attack. Every bowling attack needs a leader. I love him. I think he's been so good for New Zealand.
As I want to ask you, Dooley, what do you think is going to be the day for tomorrow? In the sense, what do you think New Zealand is going to come up with And what do you think, on the other hand, an India needs to come up with?
From a New Zealand point of view, I think it's just more of the same. Continue this partnership with Will Young and Tom Latham. Try and get to maybe after tea sometime. They should have knocked these runs off if they bat for that period of time. It's about getting through that first hour. You saw New Zealand this morning with Southey, picked up 2 in the first 40 minutes. They were a big key with that second newish ball. India have got a little while to go before they get the new ball in their hands. So to me, it's more of the same from those two. They'll have to start again in the morning and then get going. From India's point of view, it's just some tough work, some really tough, hard work. If one of the seamers could lock up an end, and I know that Ishant's probably the pick of them to lock up an end. He bowls slightly tighter than Umesh Yadav. So if one of the seamers can lock up an end and just allow Ashwin and Jadeja and Akshar to just rotate a little bit at the other end, just for the first half hour, 40 minutes in the morning, to see who can get some purchase, to see who can maybe make that breakthrough first thing up. That'll be India's key for tomorrow. But New Zealand, if Will Young and Tom Latham can continue on for another half hour, 40 minutes, get themselves set again, could be New Zealand's day.
And do you think Ishant and Umesh, both of them bowl one bowl close to 10 overs, another bowl just 6 overs, but do you think the lengths were the right lengths in this Kanpur wicket, especially after seeing a Southey and a Jamieson do what they did?
I just wondered about the short ball from Umesh as well. I think he could have perhaps used the short ball a little more, but that length that hits the top of off stump is not a length that he bowls a lot. He tends to be either quite full or quite short. I think Ishant Sharma's length is probably more suited to this particular pitch. He just didn't quite get it right. Again, they've been without cricket. They have just been without cricket, which is a real, it's a hard thing coming into this. But having said that as well, I mean, you know yourself, when you're without cricket, it's about how you train, how you prepare. And the New Zealand batsmen haven't had a game. Latham hasn't had a game of cricket. He hasn't played any white ball cricket at all. Doesn't play any 2020. Will Young hasn't had a game of cricket. So it's just how they've prepared, whether it be in the nets or leading into this Test match, that's been the real key from New Zealand's point of view. So the bowling, I think Umesh has probably got to find that length that just hits the top of off stump. And if Ishant gets a spell, he's just got to be a little bit straighter tomorrow for mine. He was a little bit wide, didn't make the New Zealanders play enough. And I think if he gets that right tomorrow, the sort of surface you can easily, that old cricket saying, 1 brings 2, 2 brings 3, and India will be well and truly back into the game. Time for me, though, DK, as we're coming to the end of the show, to put you on the hot spot. Right, I'm going to ask you a question that I know the answer to, because I'm a very, very clever medium fast bowler. Can a fast bowler be a captain of a side? And this comes in as a question, actually, from one of our viewers. Can a fast bowler be a successful Test match captain? Hitesh Rajani, thank you very much for your question. And this is going on to talk about Australia, and Pat Cummins actually been selected as the new Australian captain. He's a guy you know really well, DK. Can a fast bowler be a good Test captain? And what's Pat Cummins like, and what's he going to bring to that Australian side?
Number one, I think Pat Cummins is the right choice, because obviously he's been the vice captain for some time now. Interestingly, during the World Cup 2019, they had this theory of 2 captains. Alex Carey was another vice captain and Pat Cummins was the vice captain. So now that things have changed, and Aaron Finch was a captain, but now that things have changed and they've rightly named Pat Cummins the captain. Number one, to answer your question, fast bowlers can be successful captains, yes, but it's real hard work. Why I say that? Because you have to bowl those long spells. And what do fast bowlers do when they bowl long spells? They try and go and stand in fine leg or third man to catch a breath. Now, when you're a captain, you can't do that. You have to be in the center of the ground, helping your bowlers or speaking to them or speaking to the fielders. At all points, you have to be involved in the game. Now, that is a lot of hard work. That's why over the years, we haven't seen many fast bowling captains. Yes, there's been Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Courtney Walsh, a few, but none have had the success that a batter or a keeper has had, because they don't have the duty of bowling, especially fast bowling. I think, it's one of the hardest things to do, fast bowling and captaincy. But I can tell you the positives as well. They'll be very empathetic to the fast bowlers. They'll know what workload is. A lot of the times they'll understand what fields to set, what is the bowler thinking. So from a bowling point of view, it is great because the bowlers will enjoy a bowling captain, because a lot of the times the batters will come in with their own, sort of ideas, and sometimes it can be imposing, sometimes sometimes they don't understand the sympathy when, when a bowler gets it for a 4, or when gets it for a 6, or in fact in test match sometimes a couple of easy singles irritates the batting captain. They'll be like, what the hell is going on? What are you doing? It's so easy. When we bat, it's so hard. Whereas if you're a fast bowling captain, you'll understand maybe it's just come from a break, etc., etc. On the field, it's hard work. But I want to tell you one thing: Pat Cummins is probably, unarguably, the most loved guy in the team and in probably all of Australia as a cricketer. So he has a lot of good things going for him, and I genuinely wish and hope he does well, because he has a lot of respect among his peers. He's a very well-respected player. He plays with a smile on his face and a heart on his sleeve, and I enjoy cricketers who are able to play with that kind of effort and at the same time a big smile on his face. And I think Australian cricket will be richer if Pat Cummins is able to do a good job as a captain.
Yeah, I just wonder whether the worry around fast bowlers being captains is they underbowl themselves at times. And I was trying to think of a few examples as well that are captain. I mean, I know Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, Bob Willis, captain England for a while as well. Ian Botham, captain England. You're talking more all-rounders than you are genuine fast bowlers there. But I wonder whether the feeling comes about because he's such an integral part, Pat Cummins, of that Australian, whether it be the trio or the quartet when they pick another seamer. The addition of Nathan Lyon gives them that trio plus Nathan Lyon. I wonder whether the worry is, does that captain underbowl himself? And that would be my issue around a fast bowler being a captain. I don't want to see Pat Cummins bowl less overs if that's what he thinks is the right thing to do. So, look, you're right about the guy. Personality-wise, on the field, off the field, he is a champion human being. But the last thing we want to do is set another Australian captain up that might at some stage have a little skeleton in his closet down the way, because I think they've left Tim Payne out to hang and dry, or hang out to dry a little bit, to be honest with you. I don't think what's happened to him is entirely fair. So, yeah, I think Pat Cummins would do a very good job. He's an intelligent man. He's a good cricketer. Is it the right thing to have a fast bowling captain? I don't know whether there was any other option. They couldn't go back to Steve Smith. They'd said in the past that he wasn't going to take up a position of seniority again in the Australian side for quite some time. So they've made the one and only decision that they could, and now they have to live with it. And Pat Cummins has to deal with being a captain and probably their number one strike bowler, which is not going to be easy. But if one man's going to do it, I think it could be him. So,
Simon, I just want to,
look forward to it.
Sorry, not stop you there, but just slightly off the beaten track. I just want to ask you this: what is this new obsession for the world to find perfection in celebrities, in sports people?
Yeah.
What is this new obsession? Why is perfection so sought after? Is it because other people don't have it and they expect celebrities to be perfect, or sports people, or whatever it is? Everybody makes mistakes, and I don't want to get into the details of it, but I see so much around people's personal lives brought into into the media, into the spotlight, and their actions are judged because they were not perfect at some point of time in their lives. And I feel sometimes if you dig into anybody's closet, anybody, I mean, to find model human beings consistently for 28 years, 30 years, 32 years, I mean, come on. I mean, it's a very interesting topic. I know we can speak about it a lot, but I do think that's something the world does need to look into. Perfection has seemed to be sought after in everybody else's lives but their own.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's becoming really, really tough, isn't it? And so much is going on at the moment that we need to really take a good hard look at. I mean, a lot of us need to take a good hard look at ourselves and the way we have perhaps behaved at different times. And I'm talking about everybody, whether it be on the cricket field, off the cricket field. A lot of those things have been brought to light of late, but nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, and make mistakes in the commentary box, and make mistakes in our daily lives, make mistakes as friends, as partners. We all do, and everybody at some stage has probably done something that they're not overly proud of in their lives. But if we just keep searching for it, keep trying to expose it, I don't think it makes the world a better place, and I don't think it makes anyone better. So yeah, just stop searching for things that sometimes aren't there, or sometimes might have been there a long, long time ago. And I think we'll all maybe be in a slightly better place, because everybody has got flaws and everybody's made mistakes. I guess is one of the things we can probably say. Not too many mistakes made today by the New Zealanders. Just a reminder of where this game sits as far as the second day of this first test match is concerned. India all out for 345. New Zealand 129 without loss. Shreyas Iyer, Test match 100 on debut, the 16th Indian to do so. Fantastic innings from him. Gill's half century along with Jadeja's 50. And Will Young and Tom Latham have seen New Zealand through to stumps on day 2. So all to play for on day 3. DK, thanks so much for your time, mate. Enjoy tomorrow. Look forward to 6 o'clock on the dot again tomorrow night. More Cricbuzz chatter and more life lessons. That's what we give you. We give you everything you need here on Cricbuzz. Thanks for your time, DK. Look forward to tomorrow.
See ya, Simon.